Jesus.
What happened to Delicious Face? I'm sorry.
Nah. That's a bit questions that need answers though. Like I didn't know about any of that stuff. How did that come out? It was just a picture that people said, "Oh, hey, look."
She threw a picture up on socials, and niggas was like, "Oh nah, she didn't got rid of that whole mouth that she kissed Flavor Flav with." She
deleted the whole face that was on VH1.
She came all up on, you know what I mean? Mission Impossible Tom.
Face off. God damn.
Get it out of here. She kissed Flavor Flav. Yuck. That's what she did.
Damn. That's crazy, bro. Nah, that's crazy.
It's a lot of Crown Royal in this cup, right?
I mean, you literally just got done podding, right?
Yeah. No. We gonna yep. Yep, both of them.
Are we doing a live watch along? I do.
That's right. The baddies. Hey, man,
the baddie section is on right now.
Hold on, Kier.
Baddie section.
Hey, look, listen. Oh man, I take that drop kick. And they got a black ref too.
It's the blackest thing you see on Friday night, huh?
Ooh, gracious.
The blackest. Shouts out to Sky Blue. I might mean no disrespect, but Sky Blue's been working. She the whitest thing in the match, but she squared up against Jade though. Jade about to fold her like a piece of paper.
I understand.
Damn!
Oh, the double kick. I know I got slipped. No way behind probably.
No, I just had to actually fast forward mine. I'm gonna have to rewatch this whole match. Damn, Baddie's is going ham though.
Oh, there go Trish. Yay, Trish.
Trish putting in work. She working. Jay got her though.
Nah, see, it's Kiera and Trish for me right now. I'm behind. Oh, there go Jay right there. She can jump over the top rope. That's a big lady, yo.
Well, what can I say?
Oh, now that's how you sell that kick, though.
That's how you sell that kick. I told you exactly. Exactly.
Shout out Trish. I hope you know what I mean. They actually put you on TV. Oh, not the spear.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot going on at the end of that match. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Not bad. Shouts out the baddie section.
Yeah, whole time.
Shouts out Bodega Should.
Now there you go. That's your pin. Don't no more. You don't need to do the rear pin no more.
Nah, don't worry about all the. Is the rear pin? Hold up, is it still?
Oh, they got fans for the baddie section. Okay, I'm with it. I like the theme.
I'm not mad at this. Pin them.
Is it money? Oh, it's money too.
I think it's money. Yeah. There's a lot going on. They know what they're doing. They figuring it out. Figuring it out.
It's coming along.
They're figuring it out.
You know,
whoever is that Tony Khan booking that as well.
It's the internet. Hold on, Darby and Swerve when they talking.
They had a match earlier.
Yeah,
they was going. I had it on earlier, doing some work. Subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com/Black Wrestling. It's going to be some interesting videos popping all through the weekend, including content that you, if you're behind the movement and you're at the patreon.com/Black Wrestling, content that y'all got to see a minute ago will start filtering into the regular feed. So if you're not subscribed to the Patreon and you're not getting the exclusive videos early, you got to figure it out. Yeah. Pay to 1, pay to 10.
There was Keith. Here come Keith Lee.
This went from low key almost talking about WWE releases to just a Rampage watch along.
I mean, it is what it is. You know me. I'll rock with the roll and roll with the rock, baby. As long as I got what I got, you know what I mean. I'm good.
I was gonna say, I mean, when I saw that boat, I was walking around Walmart when I saw, I guess the word hit in the chat that Malcom Bivens and Dakota Kai were maybe the first names I saw.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
out of the
Malcolm.
10,
That's because they the biggest names, right? They dropped.
right?
I think the first name may have been Dakota Kai.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And then eventually, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, it was Bivens, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" But then it was Bivens wouldn't re-sign or wouldn't sign a new contract months ago.
I guess. So, he was on Black and Out Stable months ago, so who knows what was going on?
Yeah, and that's probably what it was. It was like he can do Black and Out Stable. I do what I want, nigga, because they ain't gonna.
Shouts to East Dre and Suku for getting that interview when they got it.
Yep, home team. Shout out to them niggas, man.
Shouts to Malcolm. Wait, who all got let go? It was Malcolm Bivens. It was Dakota Kai.
Dexter Loomis
Simmons. Dexter Loomis. Harlan.
Yeah, yo with them little shorts.
Sanjana. There's a couple names I didn't know. Actually, a number of names I didn't know. Draco Anthony. Like, I don't know who that. Raylan Devine. I don't know who some of these people are, but goddamn, there were some names that got let go. All NXT.
Yeah, all NXT releases.
That's interesting. Chat. All right, how y'all feel about these releases?
Yeah.
Get Bivens on the Patreon. I like that. Do we think? I saw a tweet. Someone said, "Hear me out." I retweeted on the Black Wrestling Twitter account. They say, "Hear me out." It had an image of Jade Cargill, and then it had an image of Malcolm Bivens. The one thing I don't like about whatever's going on with Jade Cargill is the dude that's in the I don't understand what her
the white boy.
Yeah, what the white caretaker dude's is he's like a hype man that she hates. Like, none of it makes any sense to me. If you give her a Malcolm Bivens, a mouthpiece who actually can talk that shit, like a Paul Heyman to her Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so is this 30 days? Are they ready to go in 30 days?
Let me see. This cage side seat, they don't mention.
Contracts weren't the full 90. It was 30 on because remember that's how other niggas is pulling up the other promotion.
I've not seen any reports specifically on when we may see them elsewhere. I was actually on cage side seats on the post I was just reading. They said that Dakota Kai wasn't trying to re-sign either. So it's an interesting. At least I guess they're doing what they need to do in terms of pruning.
I think this is it. I think this is the end of the black and gold era niggas.
I guess that makes sense. Everybody's restructuring. It's hitting everywhere. If it hasn't hit your sector yet, it'll hit soon. Everybody's restructuring. They're trying to figure out.
And I was just I just had dinner with my son, my son's godmother and her husband, and he works for Discovery, and he was talking about the same thing.
Right.
Everything is mash them together, trim the leaves. You know what I'm saying? So put it together, but then trim them sides.
You have to do it.
Luckily, the part of the the part of the tree he's on is where it is, so he's straight.
Right.
He's been, you know what I mean? He's an editor. He's getting busy.
Oh,
you
know
yeah. So he was telling. Matter of fact, he was talking about, well, y'all need some help. You know what I mean? Like that, we'll talk to you.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you ain't trying to charge nothing. If you're going on the arm, let me know. Just let me know.
We'll have a conversation.
We'll have to talk about that at some point.
Absolutely. This is absolutely a very drunken business conversation we have right now.
No fact. Dakota Kai. I've not watched a lot of Dakota Kai outside of the last year or so. Mm-hmm. Is she somebody who could get busy in AEW? Is she somebody who could go somewhere else and make some noise?
I think so. I mean, but I think it all.
She could talk.
What you say, making noises. That's important.
She's a better talker than Ruby Soho.
So here's the thing. I think they are underutilizing Ruby Soho in AEW.
That's a fact.
I think she should be prominently featured every week on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, she was a side. She was an additive to a beef between two women this week on Dynamite. The only other women's segment on Dynamite, what have you?
Yep.
I don't know. She was beautiful. I think she can get busy in it. Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai can do some things.
I will. If you put Dakota Kai in Impact, she's gonna go ham. Give her a sandbox. Because she had a different type of vibe.
So
she was her own thing.
We talked about the AEW, WWE. We talked about that comment that the redhead made about the best women's division. The word is Impact really has the best women's division. That's what people are saying. So I guess it is. It is what it is. She should go over there, maybe instead of AEW, whose roster is getting fairly bloated.
It's not. You know what? Trying to think of, because while all this has been going on, Impact had a vibrant women's tag team tournament go on over the last year. Deonna Purrazzo literally broke homegirl arm or whatever the other night. Almost a month ago at this point. They do get their women do get busy over there. The women do get busy.
I say, man, let them have it, man.
Get Dakota Kai down there to is it a stigma? If you go to Impact, are you looked at a certain way?
I think so.
That might be why she'd want to avoid. Keith Lee just killed somebody on TV right now.
There's Keith Lee, man. I kind of think they don't know what to do with him either.
What do you do with Keith? Can he be a heel?
With a mouthpiece. I don't know, like a Malcom Bivens.
Get Malcom Bivens to AEW.
Because Keith Lee, can Keith Lee be a heel by itself? I kind of don't think so.
No.
I don't think he's going to get in there and be like, you know what? I really don't like you people out here in the ring. I think you guys should get out of my face. Thick Carlton, you got to chill out. You got to get somebody to talk for you. You know what I'm saying? And if you want him to be a heel, but I think him and Swerve, I think Swerve has a similar problem. Low key. I love Swerve.
Swerve likes to talk.
I sang Swerve's praises for quite some time. I think vocally he still got some ways to go.
Word. Piece of Trey.
You already know. Of Azelle.
Shouts to everybody tuning in. I did want to say quick sidebar. We played a mix a little early yesterday before the whole show. The mix is a little too mixy for us. Piece of Jay-Z, piece of Live Nation. They were not too happy about. Actually, shouts out to Hanswell.
Shout out.
I know you mean well, but God, that feeling it. Don't if you on YouTube, don't do it.
And them niggas played that "Shut 'Em Down" remix on us today.
They just sent the YouTube link, like, say, here, play this. You know what happened? Nah, but it's edited. It's you good to go. You can check out last night's episode on YouTube later on, where we did talk about Becky Lynch. Actually, there's been a lot of women's wrestling talk lately, but we had a good conversation last night. Ember Moon.
Come get it. I give you the address. Text me. That's an inside joke.
Yo, wow. Is Ember Moon AEW bound?
She would be a good asset. You know where Ember Moon would prosper? As a trainer at WWE, but she didn't want that job.
I'm surprised she turned that down.
This is what we're going to discover about Ember Moon, and I don't want to slander her because of a perceived bias. But Ember Moon has certain limitations verbally. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
She's good, great. She's great in ring. She's great in ring. However, that's only part of pro wrestling.
Right.
Bret Hart fans.
Right. God damn. Athena should have went to Impact too. She's Athena now on the Indies. I guess.
Yeah, she'll do well. She'll do well, but she fits under that. You know what? I'm not gonna do that.
This man looked like he need to put it. He looked like he need to put a shirt on. Why he's staring down? He's staring down Drip.
But you know what I mean? Danhausen been coming for him.
He does. He is out there a lot trying to curse his ass. I don't know what's saying. Hold up. Let me turn this.
Yeah, but she takes a lot of unnecessary bumps.
She be moving. Hook just said something on TV.
Don't say nothing. Well, he said something last week.
They said Hook speaks. Is this the first time he said something in the ring?
Yeah. Last week he said something backstage, but yeah.
Let me turn this shit down.
This nigga look like Lil Mac, yo. He look like Lil Mac.
Nigga stole my bike.
Nigga stole my bike. Yeah, we do it another time.
Nigga stole my bike is crazy. Shouts out to the internet for always being racist, low key.
Imagine if Driphausen sang "Nigga stole my bike." Like,
that's insanity. The sad part is I feel bad because Malcom Bivens and Dakota Kai are the names like I readily know.
Who is this beating niggas up?
Who?
Who is this? Oh, is this Tony Nese?
I don't know who Tony Nese is. It could be.
You don't remember Tony Nese?
No, that's definitely Tony Nese. That's Tony Nese. I saw Tony Nese cut a promo the other day.
Tony Nese, the nigga with the abs, were from NXT and Pop starred on that one.
Tony Nese looked like great value. Pac.
I thought it was CM Punk for half a second when he had that hoodie on.
It's the wrap around his damn arms.
Hold on, are they changing? Is it Danhausen and Hook as a tag team?
I don't like it. Are they pulling the Blackpool Combat Club with Driphausen and Hook?
I think this is more Rock and Sock than it is Blackpool.
Well, but it's not. But they're also mad eccentric. But Hook is a very good John Moxley, if you want him to be. I've never seen Danhausen wrestle. I don't know what the fuck he looks like.
I was just having the same conversation. It's all gimmick. It's all like what you see already.
He's in the Orange Cassidy bag.
Yeah, but Orange Cassidy can actually go, and we don't know. Like this guy is all gimmick.
Fuck.
Triple and Samoa Joe. Samoa.
You sound like R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. That was his Wakandan accent. Samoa.
Yeah, they hit it a little. It's a little. It's a little sauce they put on it when they say it. You know what I mean? Samoan niggas don't say Samoan. They say Samoa. You know what I mean?
Have we ever heard the Usos say Samoa?
Nah, it be the older niggas. They be like
Sika and them.
Yeah, offense Sika and them. You know what I mean? Niggas with the names that everybody name ending a vowel.
That's how it was though. You would watch NWA wrestling, they would say, "Here the Wild Samoans," and then it would be cats whose names were like literally 3 and 4 letters, and they would go in the ring and decimate anybody. Samoa SWAT team was a hard tag team name too.
Nigga, all them niggas with them goddamn capri, they had the capri tights on with
the capri joggers
with foot tape.
The ankles was wrapped. They wrapped their ankles. They had capris on.
Get them goddamn shoes out of here. I don't need no shoes. Shoes?
But
what?
But make sure you tape my ankles.
Tape them ankles. He's like, how you gonna attach it? Just wrap it around the middle.
Just wrap
it around the middle of my foot too. So ankles in the middle of my foot. And you know what I mean? You got your that thing, you know what I mean? You got your Samoan. Yeah, that's Samoan.
Shouts out to Samoa SWAT team.
Yo, the Samoan rap job. Yo, that's the name of the episode. Samoan rap job. Hey, yo, I'm not rapping on niggas' foot. Yo, them niggas out there like, I ain't hungry. Nah, go ahead. Yeah, that fit. Yep.
Rapping the foot is crazy.
You know, a nigga be slapping their nigga. They be smacking their ankles with the. I don't know. It'd be weird.
Samoan.
You know what I mean? Samoan rap job. You know what I mean?
Is that how The Rock says Samoan?
That's how The Rock mama say it on the show.
Okay. I'm not caught up on Young Rock, honestly. It's been a minute since I watched Rock.
I haven't watched this season.
Yeah, I'm very far behind. I watched a little of season 1. Everybody act like they don't watch Young Rock.
Hey nigga, that goddamn Michael Irvin episode. Listen, I had to. Yo, are you watching? And this ain't even nothing we talk about. You watching Ozark?
No, Ozark's one of those shows I'm not watching. But I feel like I've not started Ozark at all.
Wow.
I hear it's good. Is it great? Like, where is it?
Yes.
Where is it?
Yes. It is must watch for anyone who is a connoisseur of small screen watching. It's one of those ones you need to have in your bag to really talk about when niggas talk about great TV.
Part 2 of the season drops soon, or it's out now?
It dropped today.
It's out now. Okay. Yeah.
So effectively, the entire series is out right now.
I mean, that's beautiful. I don't have to worry.
I'm not finished, but
it's a very dark show.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, your favorite character is gonna get murdered. They gonna get murdered. Don't worry about it.
I mean, like literally dark. Like they say, it looked like nighttime a lot.
Everything's in the shadow. It's a daytime noir. It's not like shiny, but yeah, it's a great looking show. The aesthetic is great, but the show is just yes.
Shouts out, what's her name? Laura Finney? No, who's homegirl? Is whoever plays Jason Bateman's wife.
The wife is
what's her
Darth
name?
Vader, my nigga. Is it like
she's a good actress though. And the other woman's a good actress.
Ruthie is my nigga. Listen.
Laura Linney and what's the other girl's name? Julia Garner. Julia Garner is a really good actress.
My nigga, when I tell you the last episode, the last half of the season, they're using like a different classic hip hop album to kind of use with each episode. And
word?
Yeah.
Wait, fam. Should we do a Ozark episode on the Patreon?
I'm with it. Whoever want rock and roll, I'm definitely with it.
If you're a pro wrestling person who wants to not talk about pro wrestling and talk about Ozark,
who's that?
BlackRatsAchievement.com. I don't know who anybody is. I saw the Summer Jam. Do you see the Summer Jam lineup?
I haven't. I saw there's something in the water lineup. I didn't see the Summer Jam lineup.
Something in the water lineup's crazy. Benny the Butcher is on the Summer Jam lineup. It's interesting. Like when I saw his name on there, I was kind of surprised.
I'm not. You talking about the nigga everybody wants to work with?
No, but it's in the mix with like 5EO4 and then the rest of the people that's on it is. I'm not saying he's so outside, but it's interesting. Like it's going to be interesting to see how the energy moves when Benny is on stage.
We getting Jericho and Santana on Wednesday? I'm with it.
I see. Wait, does Samoa Joe say Samoa?
Nah, he usually don't. He say Samoa.
Samoa.
I mean, Joe like a regular nigga. Like Samoa Joe, nigga. Samoa Joe be like, Samoa nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you want? What you talking about?
Samoa Joe. Was Samoa Joe an offensive name that he just kind of ran with?
I think Samoa Joe just was like, look, I'm a no frills artist. Like I come in here with a towel like Mike Tyson.
Facts.
Black trunks. No, you know what I mean? No really super designated marks. I
No
come
frills.
in here, I beat niggas up and I get out of here. And I think that's it.
The Samoa Joe say nigga? Maybe.
Pride.
He probably did in the past. He may not say
Probably
it
just
anymore.
with his music. I say he'll only sing it with his music. But Avazel asked another question.
Yeah, that's a fuck.
Who's the best rapper out of Griselda? All right, let's eliminate immediately. Let's eliminate West Side Gun. West Side Gun is a style rapper. You know what I'm saying?
He's also a vibe. I gotta be in the mood to really like get into and I'm not. Gun is nice. Gun when Gun wants to do his thing, Gun is nice, but you really got to be in a certain type of mind frame to get into that.
So now you talking Benny, or you talking Conway? Conway will bar your life away.
Your whole, but it'd be some real shit.
But
I guess.
Benny, but it's funny you say that because Benny will real talk your life away, and
Benny's very inspirational.
I feel like Benny will do a combination of bars and talk. When the niggas talk about talking that talk. Avazel, you bugging.
West Side Gun is an interesting choice. What's the West Side Gun track that you use to be like he's the number one in the crew?
Like, shoot your fucking face off.
Yeah. He has those one-liners, but I think at this point in 2022, it's like we all know, like it's for cast that's really into Griselda. We over that. Here he go.
Hey, it's a party. It's a gangster party.
Look at. I'm sorry. Look at what is going on here.
Oh, the rundown. That's what I'm talking about. I'm out of here. West Coast niggas, white boys. I'm gone.
What is going on here? What the fuck is going on here?
Hey, we're not here to take part.
This turned into a total. All right, impromptu.
You see, I don't even have my uniform on, but they play Massena.
Yeah, thank God I'm here. Where was the question at? Hold on. There's a question in the chat. I'm gonna ask y'all right now. Sempervive probably knows this question better than anybody else. Who is the best rapper out of Griselda? Is what Azell Ray. Shouts and sent with the fucking
Ransom.
You said what?
Ransom by far. Ransom by far. He just put.
I want to say Conway. I got a reason for that because I'm old. And I respect the man. And look, to me, I like a lot of what West Side Gun is, but something about how he goes.
Hey yo,
I think somebody gave Mans because you never hear West Side Gun going out there doing any freestyles or anything. I put on paper. I don't think about nothing. I just step in the studio, do my thing, walk out, and leave. Maybe that's all true, but Benny, and I like how Benny goes, and I like his style, and I like his delivery and everything. But I like Conway. I think he's relatable. That Stress song, that's new.
Stress.
I've liked every damn thing that he has come out with. I bought that Alchemist shit that he did.
Lulu.
I love that shit. And
Lulu.
Yes, and when he did that Calvin, where he actually changed up, it showed that he could do some shit that wasn't just grimy rhyming type of shit. I fucking love that. I love that shit. So I'm gonna say Conway.
I
like it.
I respect that answer.
I don't agree. I don't agree at all. However,
why?
I like it.
Wait, why? Expound on that, please.
Well,
brother.
No, because the thing that Benny does, that I almost would say the only other nigga in the game that does as well as Benny is his current arch nemesis, Frederick Gibbs, is a moat to the level that niggas relate. Benny does it better than almost anybody. And that's why it's a combination of relatability and buzz, and that's why personally Benny's my guy.
See, you said personally, and I think that's the thing. Like
that's everything.
But I have this conversation a lot with I'm always like, yo, this Benny verse is so hard. But a lot of the time, when I'm really like, who do I enjoy? What verse within in this frame of a rap beat do I love? It goes Conway. Just I feel like he speaks to me as like a stressed out grown man, like and because he's nice, like he's nice as fuck, but he's also like, yo, I've been through some shit and I'm gonna let you know. You can look at him and know he's been through some shit, but he's gonna let you know in the verse that shit. But I do, because I think the reason that this is a difficult question is because as all three of them have gotten,
we love them.
We love all. I was going to say they've gotten acclaim, they've gotten fame, and as they all three of them have grown, they've been able to become like the truer forms of themselves every time a new project comes out.
Listen,
don't you?
These are the guys that everybody wants as a feature. Everybody. Conway just had a feature verse on the Action Bronson album that dropped today.
Mm-hmm.
But you see these guys every single week. They are the track that you go to first. They are the lifeblood of the industry. They are the niggas in the industry that everybody wants in an album, but they are on no one's radio. Your favorite DJ is not talking about them on your drive time radio mix or your breakfast time radio mix. But these are guys that were able to get busy and secure a reputation in the industry without the help of radio, man. These niggas are the past and they are the future at the same time.
Damn.
Yeah, considering their age too, it's not a problem.
Yeah, no, they got time. They really have time. And they're getting nice.
I remember when I compared them to the New Day, I think sometime in late 2020, how I think I said Biggie was Biggie the Butcher.
Biggie the Butcher?
Woods was
it's Benny the Butcher, Davis.
Biggie the
Butcher is wild.
He was trying to be slick with the wordplay. That was an
I combined like Kofi was Kofi the Machine.
See,
and I think so Woods, and then Woods was
Big E the Butcher. Okay.
Yeah, like they were that's like
I think you guys heard Biggie the Butcher.
Come on, old head.
No, I'm sorry. I speak.
You're still getting over Stokely being released today.
Damn. He said,
I think you guys agreed with the roles. Yeah. I think you guys agreed with the roles. I sound like Biggie and Benny, Kofi and Conway, and then Woods and Westside. Like, right?
It kind of makes sense.
Westside's no one's favorite, really, but like just like everyone always says, Xavier Woods is constantly and underrated when he has a solo run.
Who's the best out of Lisa?
He said Lisa. Ain't nobody but Buster. What you gonna say, Dingo D?
The best out of young black teenagers is crazy.
Rock not that old though.
Rock old.
Rest in peace.
It's just another case of PTA. Jones. Look at that.
Just another case of that OP.
Where's Charlie Brown at?
Buster Rhymes here. I'm sorry.
What Publix is Charlie Brown working at right now?
That's crazy.
Wow.
They are Griselda is the FTR of the rap game.
Get him out of here. That's disrespectful.
No, but they are, and I'm not a big fan of FTR, but FTR is they're a revival act. They are an ode to an older time. So at the same time, I'm not a huge FTR guy, but yes, Griselda is an FTR of hip hop. They are an ode to an older time, but
when men were
viable. Yeah, true indeed.
And bringing old and making it new in a new time. I mean, they're just an extension of the Locks there, because people be arguing about Styles P.
Damn, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? And it's like, so what now comes is how well you're going to put Boldy James on and blow him up. Now it's going to be also what's your legacy going to be? Does Conway leave for good? Is he coming back? What's it going to be? Because I mean, his merch doesn't sell like the others do. He's at a disadvantage.
Together this past weekend. They
Say
what? They were all on stage this past weekend.
But it's like, as far as like him on the label, but like as far as then, with Armani James and everybody else, like now what you going to build? Now it's going to be interesting to see, can you do with your artists what people you haven't let anybody do with you, which is build you, exploit you, grow you, whatever you want to call it. The same thing that Eminem can't do and brutally fails at every single time. Can you do this? So it'll be interesting to see and how they stay together as a group, because obviously you see Conway had issues with, the money or how he signed away his right or whatever it is. Not to say he had a problem with it, but like he's not in like that. So what happens is it grows.
He didn't make money on the first contract, which was the truth. Him and Benny both admitted they signed the first contract for no money. And Westside said that's the best decision you ever made. You niggas is gonna have bread beyond your wildest dreams. We saw Benny on the biggest podcast on earth, hip hop wise, this week. And they're doing it without radio play. These niggas are wildly successful. It's a situation where it doesn't look as successful as it is, but these niggas is doing everything without the tradition of it. They are the future of this game, man.
I will say this: it's because we were talking about who like stepping out, and will you be able to make? The funny thing about Griselda is, while Westside Gunn may be the third out of the three, if you talk about the artist who can also spot talent and build talent, he's very good at taking a person and turning them into, like, anybody that is with Westside Gunn, he's Diddy to your Biggie. Like he's putting you out on Front Street anytime he can, and it's interesting to see how you work that side.
Clip this out for the Instagram.
Facts. 3725.
Yeah. Westside Gunn. If there's a podcast that screams to the message that the good folks over at Griselda have been the voice that Griselda Records has, man, we are the perfect mixture of tradition and innovation that will always speak to what the future needs to be.
That's it right there.
Simple accents, man.
Hit the flex bomb.
I wish I had an audio, but no, Mr. Westside, please.
Yeah, recognize this, man. We are them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense. Sam,
that's the new tagline, nigga. Black Wrestling Podcast. We are them.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam, they might steal that too. So
I'm trying to steal it now. Damn it! That was the shit of this show.
Sempervive, I am him.
From day one, this has been the show I always wanted to do. Never had a chance to do it. Looking at it, this is the show, and y'all did that show. And from day one, everybody that's heard this show has probably said, "That's the show I wish I could fucking do." And look how many people have now tried to do this show and tried to be you and try to do what BRP does, and they can't do it.
I didn't say it.
Talking crazy. You talk crazy.
I didn't say it at all. Actually,
you know the dudes you gotta hold back. Like, I've been telling y'all this. Like, he be talking the truth, but you gotta chill them out.
You got to.
We gotta hold VV back.
I'm too old to fuck with some of y'all, and I know it. So
it's please. I was going to ask, Sam, what are your thoughts on these releases? That's why we actually even turned the damn live on. Like, how you feeling about Malcom Bivens, Dakota Kai, and them getting bounced out to that?
For Bivens, I'm happy. I couldn't, if he didn't want to re-sign, which obviously he shot him down in February, is what's being reported, and I absolutely believe that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure everybody had a chance to re-up, and maybe he was the only one who didn't want to. But I could see Dakota Kai not wanting to, and I could see her wanting to get out of that place and seeing that, okay, Toni Storm's out. She's probably going to go back to Stardom too. That's where Evie was, other than Shimmer, I think, Stardom's where everybody knows her from. That's where she cut her teeth on and blew up and can have great matches. And she can do that in AEW. There's unfortunately a numbers game there that a time issue there because of the size of their roster and how he books. That's going to be tougher, but she can spend a lot of time. She can still go back to Australia, be a trainer, be a star, go to Japan, be a star. So I'm happy for her. Stoke is going to be Stoke. If he does a TV show, I'd watch it. If he does a podcast, I'd listen to it. Whatever he's going to do, I'm in it. And that's one thing they didn't want him to be is Bobby Heenan. That was as close as they had to Bobby Heenan, but they weren't looking to do that. They've never done that with managers, and I think they blew it. And I think if he sees a way out and says, I can do Jade better than, whoever, then yes. That's what it should be. So that's what I'm hoping it is. But whatever it is, I'm riding with that. With the referee, I don't understand that one.
Get Stoke out there to be the Gary Hart in AEW.
The problem is he's too entertaining to be Gary. He's not. He doesn't have that malice. Now, because look, too much about him now. If he came out in a bow tie and militant, you'd go, that's still Stoke. I'm looking for a joke every once in a while. Same thing if he came out as Gary Hart, devious and he can't. I don't think he can do that. But there's always a place for that Gary Hart manager who is not like the others and has some sinister. I mean, needs to be bad guys. And Chris Jericho's ass with people singing I get it. It's cool. It's whatever. It's 2022. But sometimes I like a heel to be a motherfucking heel.
Yes.
And that's where Gary Hart always. I like Al Perez because of Gary Hart. Anything Gary Hart was associated with because he was different. Right. And he felt real. And that's what always, especially in this day and age, we talk about Eddie Kingston and everything. What has worked in wrestling is people have accepted the real. There's so much fake. When some real really stands out, you believe it. It's why John Moxley's recovery is real. It's why GCW, for the type of shit with motherfuckers going through glass and shit, it feels real. Whether if you like it or not, it's real. So there's always a place for it.
Are the Blackpool Combat Club heels or are they baby faces?
They're baby faces.
Baby faces.
You to the baby face.
They won't be able to keep them heel. I think they want them to be heel. I think
I need Bryan Danielson to be heel.
He was in the story with Moxley, but their faces together.
Yes.
So that's because he wanted to go all John Kreese, being like, we can mold the future generation if we just, beat the shit out of them. And John Moxley was like, I got to beat the shit out of you first, and you got to beat the shit out of me. And then they're like, bet. And then Wheeler Yuta's like, hey, I'll take an ass kicking.
You can beat me up as well.
You believe?
Hey, Davis, where we from? In California. That mean you getting jumped in.
Yeah, you gotta get jumped in, and I've seen people get jumped in that shit. I was like, nah, that's all you. That ain't me.
Why Davis in Minnesota now? They say you want to get jumped in. He said no. Nigga,
he said no.
Yeah. Get your fucking hands off me.
Jumped out of the snowmobile and gone.
We'll fucking hit the highway quick.
What did we talk about last night about the women in AEW? If Dakota Kai were to show up there, day one, she's top of the tier. I mean,
y'all just hammered Britt. God damn. Poor woman.
Is it?
You said
gonna tell me, am I wrong?
in the chat.
Hey, let's I mean, look, man. She's not. She isn't the bill of sales that we, that we got.
Uber Baker?
Yeah.
The thing is, when you oversell somebody who can't wrestle, and she's learning how to job, because I got killed for saying they made her most improved in the newsletter, and I said when I Observer Live, and I questioned that, and Brian was offended on behalf of the
most improved.
Yo,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and it's I come down. I'm not as hard on her.
And that's I was gonna say the same thing.
I wish I could tell you what I'm thinking, but y'all go think I'm mean.
Jesus, most improved is wild though.
Yeah, and it's because you can say
get your bars off.
everybody, a lot of these women, it's like, boy, I really see some potential in her. It's like, no, you think she's hot. It's okay to say she's hot and say she can't work. God damn, it's okay. That's all right. But like, she's not that. When you look at Charlotte, when you look at Sasha, when you look at Becky, when you start naming Bianca, she's not that. And unfortunately for Britt, she's Bianca's like equal in generational rival sort of thing, like as far as who you're building up. And it's like,
he tried to kill me for saying that yesterday.
He was just saying that last night. He was just saying that last night.
We know what you meant, but it just sounds so bad because you're saying like how they view her in AEW is how WWE views.
Nah, fam, I understood what you were saying, fam. For the record, I was with you. I was with you.
When you say that together, it's
and there's truth that, like, again, everybody that says what they're saying, there's facts in it, you know. But it's like, are we bagging on Britt so hard because, I mean, she's a star there to their fans. She's a star. Could you take Britt and put her in the main event at night 2 at WrestleMania? I don't think I could do that. I could main event Raw with her. I could main event a pay-per-view with her. I can main event Money in the Bank with her after the ladder match. But could I do it at Mania? No. Can I do that with Bianca? You goddamn right I could. You know, and they have. So
ain't no way. Ain't no fucking
ain't no way, no fucking way. Ain't no way.
Am I gonna have to fuck?
What does DMD mean? Somebody educate me on that.
I saw she was just trying to get that trademarked or whatever.
DMD stands for These Matches Dookie.
I was gonna say, does it mean
medicine.
DMT?
That's what it sounds for. Doctor of Dental Medicine.
Oh my god.
These Matches Dookie is nuts.
I'm sorry.
I really would like to see
all night.
Shit, I can get another one out for that. Right? Shit.
Let me get Stokely in AEW. Give him Jade and maybe like a guy. I don't know.
Does he need Jade or
does
he
gotta
need
have
a guy
3
who can't actually talk?
He doesn't need anybody. They need him.
I was gonna say Jade may need they may need him, yeah.
They do need him. They absolutely need him, and he cannot get lost in the mix, which is another reason why I want him with Jade, is because because it's easy to make the jokes about, you know, Jade Fridays, because, you know, and all that, but it's still on TV, and a lot of people don't have that chance, and they get Ruby Soho, they get cycled out because that's just the numbers game and how they do things. And Stoke, to me, you have him with Jade and any baddies, and how you want to include Velvet and all that, you're more than welcome to. But if he's going to have some dudes with him, you know, don't just put him with Swerve to put him with Swerve. Don't just put him with this person to put him with this person. Say what?
Put him with Swerve. Don't put him with Swerve just to put him with Swerve. But
don't
put him with Swerve.
Yes, but exactly right. Swerve. Do that, and then don't just juxtapose. Well, Keith Lee is with Swerve, and put them together just because of obvious reasons or whatever. Or again, be serious about what it's going to be. Make sure he's got an impact right away, because that's the most important thing. They had not had a manager that has made an impact really yet. Arn, Jake, Tully, how they've done Vicky. The closest one has been Sterling, because Sterling's he's a wrestler, he's a worker, he's been in the game a long time, he's a trainer, and that's why I thought at first he was good with Jade. But now you want to have a manager that damn matters, who can actually click everything for you, create social media content for you. He's a machine. He's always been a machine. He's been a machine since he was working for Gabe, you know, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all these advantages Stokely gives you, make sure if he comes in there, if and when he comes in there, that you are dead serious about this, and whatever clique and crew you put him with, it's the Heenan family. It's not Johnny Valiant. It's not some other bum-ass manager, Jimmy Hart at the end of his run WCW, where he's got like the Dog or Hacksaw Duggan or some dude over here and some... No, make it serious. This isn't a joke. Make it serious. And the same thing with Swerve. When it's time to push him, you make sure you're actually pushing him, and it's not just in and out for a couple weeks and then he drops back on the dark again.
Hey man, move with intent.
Move
with intent, and you can't fall off, because what happens is people see your inconsistency when you don't move with intent, right? So
yes,
if you say this guy is this guy this week, next week he's still got to be the guy you said he was. He can't be losing no weird, funny pins.
That's the whole point about Tony
Darby
Nese.
Allin on your TV on a Friday night. Nah, don't nobody want to see that.
That's why it's better to be invisible than not. That's what when people get injured in WWE and be gone. They can't fuck you up if you're gone. You know what I mean? But if they put you up there and they're funny about you, like you bring in Jay Lethal and beat them, like no, just leave Jay. If you wanted to do something with Jay and Tony, whoever it's going to be with, do it then. Don't do it now. You know what I mean? Like don't bring guys like Jeff Cobb was a situation at the very beginning where they brought him in because they wanted to sign him, but then they beat him. Okay, you want to do a special occasion like that? Fine. Somebody from New Japan, somebody from the outside. But if you're serious about somebody, don't do that and then just be done with it. And that's why I worry about with Swerve doing this thing with Darby. It's like, okay, then from there, what about both of these guys? Because to me, they're both stars. Different levels right now because Darby is what Darby is. But like, I know what Swerve can be. You know, I know what they could have did with him and Phantasmo or wherever the hell they call him in NXT. You know what I'm saying? You know, Escobar. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, and they were never serious about it. And that's something that you could have did in NXT, cleaned it up, done it, and then put it on the main roster, refined, and people would have bought it. And you're looking to try to play. They are the African American audience and first generation Mexicans that come up and support wrestling in this country and have supported WWE and will to a degree that they make themselves hypocrites and whores when they talk about it sometimes. But like that's their shit, and WWE will still never truly, they still don't recognize it because everything's old. Vince is old. Dunn is old. They don't see it. And it was right there for them. Thanks. They weren't big enough though. But that's, again, everybody could have that bitch about that.
Who they were biding time with until this next class went up, and then he was going to get the shine, and then the transition happened with 2.0. He'd finally figured it out with Hit Row and being the front man for that. And there was the potential of Top Dollar as well. But like once it's him as North American champ, it's the transition to 2.0 is happening, and you might get called up, and then they're like, nah, this isn't going to work. So he didn't get the run he should have had in NXT, like a bunch of people didn't have.
Listen,
I think that AEW, okay.
That was a big deal. Like even with the Hit Row thing, is they realized we saw this guy as a star, but we didn't realize it was actually this other guy. And then they got like this, and it was like, get out of here, we'll figure it out some other time. That's really what they did.
Facts.
Yeah.
I
talk about with Stokely. I think they keep teasing Kip Sabian come back. That's some guy who could probably need someone like Stokely to get him over, because we see Tony Nese, who Terry and I keep mocking because he was the hottest free agent, lost. Sure, he'll win on Dark, but every time we see him on Rampage or Dynamite, he loses, and that's why they got Mark Sterling with him to make it seem like he's that guy. Where it's like, no, you've lost to Swerve and fucking Sammy Guevara. You're not that guy.
And you're right. You know what I'm saying? But like because Stokely can get over anybody, but it's like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Because I don't look at Kip Sabian and see star. So like I'm trying to look a little bit down the road.
Unless he makes them again. Like
I guess look, if they have denoting him, one of the next guys, like they have denoted Jungle Boy and Darby and certain people, like if they are so serious behind somebody, like that's the one thing is they get hard-headed about things, and they're going to go like Hangman Page is going to be the champion regardless of we're sticking to our plan. If they have a plan for guys, even if I look at it on paper and I go, I don't get this, I have enough faith in Stokely Hathaway, the mouth, the manager, the presence to get over these guys who are talented. But I want them to be all in on these guys. I worry about bringing somebody back like a Sabian and go, okay, you know, he can make him hot for a minute, and then just to have him turn or do something else. You know what I'm saying?
What about Sammy and Stokely, the ultimate heel heat? You got
no, I don't think so, because now you start to use what you have with the other guy, and it's going to rub off on whatever Malcom Bivens or Stokely can do, because people really don't like Guevara.
Yeah, and to me, it's like it would have to fit in the time and place of a story. And like in my mind, the Heenan family, like when you establish, if you can get Hathaway whatever you would want to call the group established for a certain period of time, and then do that with like bringing in somebody that he wants to bring in to do some damage to somebody and play that okay. But I think to establish them, I think you got to spend a lot of time doing that.
You mentioned whatever you want to call that group. I think I know the name. That Malcom Bivens. If he's able to work Bivens into his name when he's outside, you call his
Clean Records.
You call him the East Coast Family.
Oh, the East Coast Family.
I've been holding on to that for about 5 minutes. The East Coast Family.
Sudden impact. Better than sudden impact.
South Street.
I'm sorry. Nah.
What did sudden impact become? What did they call it? Like White Side or something like that? Saw them posing in that. Yeah.
Sudden Impact is such a terrible name. If it's a movie, if it's a group, whatever, Sudden Impact is fucking horrible.
And looking like that with the whole point of just you knew that one wasn't gonna work.
Jesus Christ. Is there anything we did a whole like I feel like we did 8 hours last night. We really did like 2.5 hours last night. Is there anything else?
I thought we were quick. I honestly I was kind of surprised how tight the time was last night, but then again, I wasn't there for the mix. I was just there for the show.
There was a lot of talk. We had a lot of talk. And again, I think whatever we're talking about, it goes in and out of women's wrestling. And I think there was a lot of conversation about what's going on with women in pro wrestling yesterday. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see a whole conversation about people getting released and how that can still turn into the benefits or how that impacts women in pro wrestling and the two biggest federations in America. Interesting time. Interesting time either way. Should we get out of here? What Mimi said? Look at the BRP Kangs. Drip, do you feel like you're a king?
Nah, like, the prince.
But wait, Drip, when you're home, after you brush your teeth, you looking at me like, yo, love yourself, king.
I said it a few weeks ago. Don't forget, I'm the bad bitch. I'm the bad bitch of BRP.
All right, I'm out.
That's your man.
That's your man.
That's your man.
He don't know about Sean Prince, bruh. He don't know about Imperious Rex. I want to do co-host. I love this man to death. But when he said,
he's never heard.
No. When you said something like that, low key, I said, how much is a flight to Minnesota? You gonna learn about Helter Skelter.
You learn today.
Banks hit me like, yo, look at your man's will make that. I tried. At this point, Drip is what he's into. Drip loves Drake. He wants some Noctas.
Hey, listen.
He don't want to listen to Helter Skelter.
Nah.
Look at that Mimi comment.
He wants the Noctas, but not the Nocturnal. Is that Big Mike is crazy? No,
it's the other big. It's Big Mike.
That's the other Part Big 2. Mike.
I'm medium-sized Mike. Come on now.
It's
the variant.
It's the other white baby face.
Big Mike's variant is very funny.
Yeah, it is. No, I was telling because we just did Banks versus Davis, and I said that Big Mike is my dad, Math is my father, and Sempervive is my pops. Like that's how it goes.
Am I your uncle?
No, yeah, you would be because Fam would be my cousin. Yeah.
That's a lot of different DNA, brother.
That is a lot of wild DNA.
Everybody's cousin, Big Cuz.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they call me Big Cuz.
Yeah, Hold it.
I'll count because I just announced this on Banks versus Davis, but the Father's Day edition of White Noise will be the fathers of BRP and Big Mike and Sempervive doing Night of the Skywalkers. That'll be the Father's Day edition of White Noise.
Shit, really?
Night of the Skywalkers.
You watched it recently?
Nah, not recently. Back then.
I used to love that pay-per-view.
Bobby Eaton and P News did a scaffold match too. Together.
In like 91.
This almost sounds like a joke. I was like, this is a setup.
92, 93, it was Baltimore.
You was there?
I think we watched it. I don't think we were there.
Yeah, I wanted that one.
PN News and Bobby Eaton doing a scaffold match.
What was it up there? Yeah, Steve Austin up there. Steve Austin did one. Yeah.
Nah, that match we talking about.
The scaffold was like that was I don't know what was the equivalency of a scaffold match and like a cage match. Like it's some your feud had to be so crazy to get on the scaffold.
No equivalency because you can only do like a punch, nigga fall down on the goddamn scaffold.
He just grabbed on the shit.
Stand up.
Then TNA made it worse with Elevation X, and they had Rhino and AJ Styles have a match where it was that shit was terrifying.
Chat,
AJ Styles put himself into the scaffold.
Does the chat know about the night of the Skywalkers?
I hope the chat's not that old.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about Sip. I'm like, I'm trying to see two people.
Nah, you know what it was? Because this was back with like Night of the Skywalkers was 86, so I didn't really know.
All right. With the exception of Drip,
I've seen the match before.
In 1986, how old was everybody?
PM Dawn.
86.
KRS throw him off the scaffold.
86. Wait, hold on. I want to go specific. Skywalkers 86.
Hey, Sid, that's what he should have did to Shan instead.
You remember? You ever hear that story?
That was
when Boogie Out Productions ran on stage, threw PM Dawn.
Yeah,
that motherfucker up.
Throw him on the scaffold.
Yo,
wait, y'all know about the pun story, right?
This was KRS-One beating up the PM Dawn motherfucker. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but y'all know about the one with Big Pun, right? They threw some dude off the stage allegedly.
He was hanging like this.
Yeah.
He was like,
the one and only son of Tony Montana. You ain't Premier Montana in the right Montana.
So I've seen this match because I had the Road Warriors DVD, and that's one of the matches I put on because my dad's like, "You have to watch this match." And I'm like, "What? I'm like, huh?
What was you doing
well,
with that?
that was the cover of the tape. I don't remember what the championship match was on that Starcade. I remember the Skywalkers because fucking that was a match that Jim exactly. Jim Cornette got fucked up. Big Boss Man with Big Bubba Rogers. That shit was. I discovered that Skywalker tape kind of late.
It was the main event was Ric Flair versus Nikita Koloff, and it ended in a double DQ for the NWA.
That's why I didn't remember the main event. Nikita Koloff, bro.
Nikita Koloff was my nigga, man.
He was.
Supposed to be Magnum.
Yep.
Nikita Koloff.
I've talked about this once before. About
Nikita Koloff
potential.
All right, let's talk about Nikita Koloff. Nikita Koloff had the most dedication to his character of all time.
Yeah,
because he changed
in
the
Minnesota. Nah, because he was either out the house as Nikita Koloff or he was in the house. That was it. What
about the guy that literally changed his name to Warrior?
No, but
we
Nikita
met Jim Hellwig. We met the bigot known as Jim Hellwig several times, making
the
speeches.
ultimate bigot.
Yeah, no. We never saw Nikita Koloff outside as whatever his real name is.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody knows Steve Simpson or whatever it is. Yeah, whatever.
I got it right here.
He was the first wrestler
Nelson
that I was
Scott
legitimately
Simpson.
Petrified of. I was completely scared of Nikita Koloff. He was going to see me in the streets and be like, "You are not a wrestler. I am going to kill you, black boy." Like I was scared of him. I was scared.
Hey, bro, Traps was right here. He was like the Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah, Nikita Koloff had on neck.
I'm going to fuck you up, fam. I know you were 5.
That's why that Koloff's Road Warrior shit was so real. It was like, I believe all of these motherfuckers, every single last one.
Because I seen a white boy, a crazy white boy with some spikes on his jacket. I seen that before. Go ahead and get the Road Warriors. Go get back in, you know what I mean, 87, 88. You know what I mean? When I was pushing weight back in 88, he was a ballerina. I seen the pictures. I seen it. Nah. Nigga, Nikita Koloff and Ivan Koloff, I seen niggas that look like the Road Warriors before. I ain't never seen no Russian niggas in real life.
Yeah, but 86 was Was Koloff was the babyface in that main event match? Though?
They turned him to become the babyface because Beckham got injured.
Yeah, they gave him hair.
He had the crew cut.
That shit came way later. That was actually because he disappeared because his wife had cancer, and he got out the business completely. So when he came back, he was a lot smaller, and he came back with the hair. But that's when that shit was going on. And like I remember Pro Wrestling Illustrated, it was in there. They never talked about it on TV or anything. But then, like when he came back, he was different. And I remember Baltimore Arena, going to the arena. I'm trying to think. It was the first time he would have been back. He may have been facing Michael Hayes. And I remember going. It was the first time I had seen him since he came back. And he comes out. And he's giving the thumbs up, and he's got that buzz cut. And it's like he just looked completely different. And he just completely different.
Hold on for that weird buzz cut. Hey, Sempervive, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why weren't you in Dallas?
I'm broke.
Man,
all right. Sempervive, that sounded very insightful. Where could people want to go if they want to hear more knowledge about territorial wrestling?
At Mid-Atlantic Pod, because that's the home of the Mid-Atlantic Championship podcast. That you can find midatlanticpod.com. You can find it on Instagram. I'm a little slow with that. Same thing with the Patreon if you want to go ahead and help out there. But Facebook and Twitter, which the Twitter is the most important thing because regardless of the podcast, regardless of anything else, how much history you like about wrestling or whatever, that's the thing that every day I'm putting up clips, a lot of them from the Dusty era, from like 84 through 88, where that's where Jim Crockett was at its best. And there's so much shit on there that you can it's either funny, there's stuff that can be done back then that can't be done today, which makes it good. There's stuff that is still applicable today, in wrestling, because wrestling is just universal telling the stories, and you can get ideas about it, and you can just have fun watching this old stuff that made all of us old people like Cal and Fam and all of us, this stuff is still great, and that's why we're fans. It's not the discourse. It wasn't anything else. It was the wrestling that got us in. It's fun. Hey, look, man, I like feeling good and going home again. Like I was talking on the show with Banks and Drip. It's like, I still listen to Eric B. and Rakim. I still go back to, my favorite song is still, but I wanted, like, my theme music is still Rockbox. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think of if I was coming out wrestling wise and I had to have my own theme. Like, that's Gangstar, all that stuff I go back to, and people like feeling it's okay to go back again. And there's things you can learn from it. There's a lot of stuff you learn on what not to do. And like we were talking, all the racism, the xenophobia, the this, the that, it was lowest common denominator type of shit. But without that, we couldn't have got to where we're at. You know what I mean? So you can bag on a lot of old stuff and how nasty. Rocky King, God bless his soul, just died. The ultimate wrestling success story. And a lot of people just look at the racist shit that happened to him and go, that's some bullshit. And you're right. You know what? There's a balance to everything because wrestling helped save this dude. You know what I mean? And just and without that, we wouldn't get to where we are with the New Day, who has had to fight through a lot of things. And now they're able to play with stereotypes that a lot of their viewers have no idea of what they're doing, how they're playing. Is like, I won't bring up any names of other podcasters and writers and older ones that, had said things about the New Day and couldn't understand things about pancakes and whatnot. But it's just because they didn't know and they haven't been following the times. And without that old shit, we wouldn't have this new shit. And you got to appreciate both.
Mm-hmm. Sempep, you ever heard "Credit Is Due" by Gangstar? I would assume
yes.
I would assume Semp has heard that track. Semp, what one of the best clips I've seen that's Semp related is it's the Coco Beware drop kick on Buzz Sawyer, where the fucking selling that we all talk about, Theory selling the RKO and all this other bullshit. Buzz Sawyer jumped clear across the ring through the ropes off a drop kick from Coco Beware. And this has got to be like 84, 85, something like this.
It was the very first Crockett Cup, 86.
That's crazy.
That was the first Crockett. It was Coco Beware and the Italian Stallion. No, Coco Beware and the Italian Stallion, for God knows, I don't know who it was supposed to be. I can't believe that's what it was, because Coco was in Memphis. And it's like it could have been something got lost in the sauce there, I think, but it ended up being them, and it's Buzz Sawyer and Rick Steiner, because that's what Rick Steiner's first partner was going into when he was in Mid-South UWF. So it's a sign of like, this is why you don't shake the camera a million times. The camera's down a little bit underneath the ring, and Coco had the best drop kick, as everybody knows, one of the best in wrestling history, and he hits it, and Buzz, the way he would sell going backwards and being able to have enough body control to fling his legs up, because for somebody to do that who knows how to do it, it's not hard. But like to watch it, it's like, how the hell did he do that? And he looks like he's levitating through the ropes and out.
Yeah,
it's the damnedest thing.
He goes from a standing position to like completely horizontal, almost flying through the ropes. But he's like got the wherewithal to catch himself before he flies through the ropes outside the ring.
Kurt Hennig did that shit too. Although I know it's out there. I'm sure it was on TV because I remember seeing it. I know I've seen it live before. Right. The same exact thing. And I bet you Brett probably at some point too. Those guys with that control, do that sort of thing.
That's like the ring technician. Like they knew what they were doing when they were moving around in that ring. Yeah.
Yes. What's up, Mimi?
Shouts to Mimi. Yeah, we really getting into some random wrestling talk. We're not where we were supposed to be.
I apologize.
Coco had the best drop kick until Maven came along.
Miles down the road.
This type of talk is why I like just watching Bryan Danielson. I've been digging into old Bryan Danielson stuff, and it's fun watching him take that elbow from like back before he was going. Yeah, right before he was going to WWE.
That was one of the first like real indie highlights I saw on YouTube. Was him and Nigel McGuinness going at it, and the clip that stuck with me in my mind was I think they're both bloodied, and Danielson just goes, and I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing, and he just like won't stop, and the ref's like calls the match. I'm like, how could you win just by like
I was just watching clips of the Final Countdown or whatever they called that match, the last match before they were both supposed to go to WWE. I don't know that shit. That was some good ass shit, but it's funny to watch Bryan Danielson hit all that shit right now. Mm-hmm. You put him on the TV right now, he could do that match. I don't know. That's
Hey fam, did you watch Ring of Honor on 54 or whatever channel 54 is now?
Oh my gosh, channel 54 is classic. Yes. You talking about routinely or it like
because not is it over with now? Because I know they were like it was getting towards the end of like it was.
We went to I've gone to a couple of Do Burns Arena shows. I went down to where they were recording when they were here. But first time I saw Kevin Steen was at Do Burns Arena on Ring of Honor. They had this little bitty guy with this beard that was like,
Grizzly Redwood.
Yo, his beard was this big. Like I was like that.
He was somehow taller than Marco Stunt still.
I hate Marco Stunt.
His beard was taller than Marco Stunt.
Yo, that beard was very significant.
Grizzly Redwood,
beard, man. It was dope. But yes, I remember Grizzly Redwood coming out, and Kevin Steen came out and said, "Hey, shut up, don't say nothing." And Grizzly wouldn't shut up, so Kevin Steen came in, power bombed him, and then dealt with the issue at hand. But yes, I definitely got a chance to see Ring of Honor on WNUV channel 54 from time to time, and like I said, I went down to Do Burns Arena and saw a couple of shows being taped. Yeah.
As I was wondering if you went up and saw, because I went a chance to see a couple of shows up there, and I like that little building. And unfortunately, it was mostly when Cornette was running things, so it wasn't. We got to see like Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas in there, but like,
they look so. It was them
huge compared to everybody.
Yes, it was like them, the Briscoes. It was one other person on the roster that looked like they were supposed to be there. Everybody else was like somebody's little brother.
Mm-hmm. And it is what it is with Cornette and all that. It's like him trying to do his thing with it, but it's like there is sometimes a stark difference. Like this is going to sound stupid. Yo, fucking Marco stunned Brian Alvarez. Like, if y'all ever saw that, like, y'all have no idea how small Marco Stunt is until you see him standing next to Brian.
They wrestled. I remember them talking about wrestling each other. They had a whole feud, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Anyway,
And people paid to watch that. That's just crazy.
Never a fan of Marco Stunt.
Shit, I ain't a fan of Brian either.
Dance he be doing. He be doing this. Yeah, this shit. Whatever the kids used to do on Fortnite.
Wild. We should probably get out of here. I hopefully Malcolm, Dakota Kai, all y'all land somewhere soon. Whenever you can. No, we was about to say, Drew, what you were saying.
I was going to say, when Big Mike and I went to NXT Live in 2020, right before the pandemic, and he saw Dexter Lumis, and he was like, this guy's amazing.
Mm. He was just starting to get some...
And he hadn't watched wrestling for a while, and he was one of the first guys that he gravitated to. I'm like, yeah, this guy's actually really good. Like, this gimmick can work if they were like to use it correctly. And NXT kind of was until the last few months, but they did at first, is what I'm saying. They did until they just like tailed off, and he probably should have been called up when they were wasting him in NXT.
Because his name bubbled for a minute, and then it didn't go anywhere after a while. If I'm remembering correctly.
You know, him and Gargano doing like the axe throwing, and him just being like, was pretty good.
Let him go.
Sam, Mid-Atlantic Pod, thank you for coming through. Where else can people find you socially?
At Sempervive on Twitter. That's the easiest thing to get me on. I'm not to avoid Facebook like the fucking plague. You know, the only reason I got that is for the at Mid-Atlantic Pod. So, yeah, pretty much there, because the Instagram, I don't update like I should. So, Twitter's the easiest thing for me, even if I hate Elon Musk's fucking guts. But,
you know what, Seth? You should probably try. There's an Instagram account I follow. It's No Context Dusty. And it's literally it's a lot of random captions.
It be Dusty saying, like, everything. Baby, that's why I go to the bathroom on Wednesday, because I understand that the average man poops on Wednesday.
Fact. It's literally,
and you know what I mean.
Dusty promos from that era with relating to life now. It's a funny enough. You can figure something out. WrestleBots and all these other IG accounts. They're somewhere for the Mid-Atlantic Pod to sit. Drip, Banks, BBD, what y'all doing? Where y'all at? Banks, where you at?
Man, y'all already know what the business is at the BBD Pod. Thank you, Sent, for coming through once again. Banks versus Davis on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Like I always tell people, don't follow me on no personal social media, because that's just weird. Follow me at the BBD Pod.
Drip.
On Twitter at Davis, aka Drip. Instagram, Davis Colton DC. Like you said, Banks versus Davis on YouTube. Audio, because sometimes we have audio specific episodes out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, but Black Wrestling on YouTube. That's how you can never miss impromptu live episodes like this. We just finished, and I saw you guys were live. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because I haven't checked the glide.
Yeah, you didn't check
all day. So I'm like, let me see what's going on.
Again, if Malcom Bivens and Dakota Kai hadn't had what happened today, we wouldn't have been here. But Fam was podding, and then
same thing.
Big podding.
No, amen. Big Wiz Buffy at Wiz Buffy on all social media for you hip hop niggas, right? But only for hip hop niggas with certain aptitude. If your hip hop is stuck at Future, don't check for us. If
wrong pod.
If GQ spoke to you when they said, "Oh, Future is the greatest hip hop art," hey, listen, if that spoke to you, don't come over here and check for us, man. At Where's Buffy in your social media choice, more specifically, more acutely, IlFam79 in your social media choice, aka the Arm Ass in the Podcasting, aka Captain Bro Albano, Brudum and Phillips, Thicky the Dragon, Steamboat, Cheeto Santana, Pod Shan Pod, God's favorite podcaster, and the Senior Love Daddy of WFAM, where family always matters. IlFam79 on your social media choice, man. Come see me where I be, B. You know what I mean?
I like that. Dre, when are me and Keeks gonna do a fight video show on the Patreon?
That should be crazy. That'd be crazy.
That's a great. I have to figure out how to make sure we don't get banned off of the internet.
It's
gonna be called Hard White Underbelly.
I'm gonna figure that one out. Me and Keeks literally all the time. It's just fight bits. Anyway, at Cal on Twitter, at Black Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BlackWrestling.com is a website, but it's always you can find Black Wrestling Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Rock the dub.
Wherever you get podcasts, we there every Thursday. Every Thursday on YouTube. Pay the 10. What's that? Every Thursday. We are live on YouTube, 8:35-ish. YouTube.com/Black Wrestling. Patreon.com/Black Wrestling. Pay the 1. Pay the 10. I was going to say,
Black Wrestling Podcast Club.
This weekend, some of that Patreon content has been exclusive to everybody who's been paying to see that content. It's going to start hitting the YouTube. You might see the episode of White Noise, the debut episode of White Noise that Drip, Semp, and myself did. It was a good conversation. Couple things.
Jay White
boys. You might see that tomorrow. If you've not paid for it, you might see it tomorrow. If you pay Patreon, you'll see stuff like that. We're gonna get the hell out of here. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Really appreciate y'all coming through.
Shout out to the droplets.
I'm out.
Yeah, we're Drip. I cannot believe.
Ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.